Hello. Once again, this is 3peatSPEAKS, and I'm Win Good now.
This is still 3peatSPEAKS, and I'm Des Porter. Alright.
So, I suppose today we're just going to have a little discussion about Kanye's statement, I guess, regarding Twitter followers, which I think he was talking about Twitter, but I think just overall the idea of having your followers on any social media like broadcasted to literally anyone that's interested. I think he has a good point with the whole concept of like more privacy around it and just less I don't even know, just discrimination, I guess, almost in general over follower count. And I think he's really like the first person I've ever heard mention anything about that. And I think he's got a point, and I'm kind of surprised no one else really thought of
Right.
mentioning anything about that earlier.
Right, because on a daily basis, even without consciously trying to, you always find yourself like looking at or even before you follow an account, I'm like, how many followers do they have?
Mm-hmm.
It actually doesn't matter.
I know, literally it doesn't matter.
If someone has good content, I follow them. It doesn't really matter how many followers they have. But then I guess there's that part of like, what do followers tell us? And it kind of tells us, is this person reliable? You know what I mean? Whether are they faking the funk, you know? Which is possible in a lot of cases. But yeah, I can definitely see it having a smaller impact on Twitter than it would on Instagram. You know?
Definitely, I completely agree. And I mean, on top of that, the fact that like so many people are buying followers too, like completely switches up the spectrum. Like you really have no clue like what the hell is going on anymore. Like there's so many people that are buying like, 5,000 or 10K followers to like get started. And I know a lot of like Instagram celebrities that have started with fake followers, so it's just interesting to see like how this stuff is seriously becoming like economics kind of like it's incredibly like relative and relevant to everyone. I would say.
What I love about like Instagram and Twitter is you can really learn quick like what's important to someone, and then that even the extent of buying followers really shows you like what's important to someone. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of sometimes it's obvious, especially at the beginning when people buy their followers. It's like, all right, well, we see you, but it's also still interesting. Like, why? Why? Like, what are you doing to feel like you need to have that many followers? Most of the time, it's like a clothing brand or something. But if someone has good taste, is social media even reliable for them to like share with people? You know, like how do you feel about that?
I don't know. I mean, I'm glad that like there's a discussion around it now, and I think it's a very like undiscussed topic, so it's hard to like really analyze and decide like what the move is with it, because followers are like, I mean, it's not the point of social media, but it's like a very relevant piece of it. And I guess as long as your stuff's still getting seen and you can see everyone else's photos, tweets, whatever it may be, I really don't understand like what the problem is with at least being able to have the option of keeping it private or not. I don't think there's like I can't see how that would be a problem. But I don't know, I'm really just like, more than actually what we do about it, I'm just interested to see how the conversation goes and who takes what side. Because I mean, overall, I think like it's pretty obvious that the people that are like 300K to 1 million followers, whatever, are like really gonna root to keep that in action. And I think that like the amount of followers you have, if you really care about it that much, like it's kind of a status symbol in a way. And I think a lot of people would feel like they're not just getting what they want from social media by not having that like sensation of like, yeah, like look at my followers, like I got what, like, you know, 10 times as many as you, like that must mean I'm 10 times cooler, you know?
Yeah, and that was one of the points he made, was people that were like suicidal over followers and things.
Exactly.
And that's an issue, but at the same time, that person, I feel like, will have an issue regardless of like if that changes or not. That's something that it's just something that we've all had to adjust to, and it's kind of just like that person's still gonna have to adjust to something else even if this gets changed. But it'd be interesting to see, and then, you know, it's like, what could it change? You know, who, you know, there's people who will probably fall off, you know, like who are famous and who are gonna fall off because you know, you see that they have like 20K or 200K, and then that causes them to get even more followers. So it's an interesting topic. Where do you see social media like evolving to, even just within the next year, because everything changes so fast?
That's a great question. I think like I kind of feel like videos in general are going to become more relevant. I can see that becoming more of a trend. Like 75% of a person's posts are like videos of like whatever. I feel like it's just more interactive that way, and I don't know, overall I just think it's like more entertaining. And also one other thing that I think might come around too is like obviously like fit pics are essential to anyone, but no one really does like video fit pics where they're kind of like moving around like different angles and shit. And obviously like that could be kind of weird, but I think that could be a really cool switch up, kind of, and you could just contribute more things into it, I guess. I think that would be cool. What about you?
I agree with that. I kind of feel like we're there now, and except for the whole fit pic thing, but I feel like a majority of things I do come across online is like videos and video work. So I definitely could see that, where when Instagram like came out, it was like all of a sudden all your friends are photographers, you know what I mean? It's gonna be that thing where it's like, well, it's, you know, people are gonna catch on to video editing and everyone's gonna be editing their own videos, which I think Vine had a major part in.
Completely.
You know what I mean? Like Vine.
That was the craziest fall ever. I don't even know how, I mean, I know Instagram got like videos and stuff, but still like.
It's a surprise that Vine disappeared, because I could see something very similar to it just popping up out of nowhere and everyone flocking to it.
It was almost a little too like early for its time. In certain ways.
Definitely. It's the same thing with YouTube, but YouTube probably had a stronger backing and
true that.
Stronger foundation. But yeah, YouTube was way ahead of its time. Like, I'm pretty sure, I don't know when it started, but I didn't start watching YouTube until like 2008. It was like the early days, right? And then even like people with like channels who are just making content, they, you know, I wonder where they are now. If they continued, I'm sure they're doing well. But the people who were early on YouTube probably just like gave up because they didn't see anything happening. So speaking of Kanye West, Yhandi drops tomorrow. Today the Card 5 drops, which I'm ecstatic. I've been a Lil Wayne fan. Well, I feel like I can't even explain that. Everyone's been a Lil Wayne fan.
Yeah, true story.
Yeah, so what are you looking most forward to?
I think, well, I don't know. I think Yhandi is gonna be really interesting, and even like the title itself is like piquing my interest, especially because the like polarity, I suppose, between Yeezus and Yhandi, like complete, you know, opposite sides of the playing field. I think it's gonna be amazing. Like, I don't know if you've heard the like one song that's been kind of like leaked so far on his Instagram. So fire. I think it's gonna be insane. And like Watch the Throne 2 is coming out sometime soon. That's gonna be off the chain. I'm really excited for that. I feel like this is I mean, it's kind of always Kanye's year, but I think this year is like really has been his year, and will just continue to be. Like, he's just bringing in so many new factors into the game, and it's just like he's going harder than anyone else, pretty much. Like, really, I don't know anyone that's like producing more work than him right now.
Do you think it'll be 7 songs? Will Yhandi have 7 tracks on it, or more? Is the question.
I think it's either gonna be like 5 or it's gonna be like 14. That's my guess.
Yeah, I've heard someone talk about the disc, like his cover art.
Yeah.
Say that the disc is like one of those discs that can only fit like 81 minutes or like 21 minutes or something.
Oh, really?
So that's what I was like thinking. Like, it's probably gonna be another 7-track album.
Interesting.
Which I'm also thinking about, like you mentioned, the polarity of the title. I want him, personally, I want him to address, a lot more appropriately about the Trump support and a lot of that stuff. Because we all know how personal he is with his music, so we know we're gonna get something about that.
Yeah.
But my question is, like, what about it? Is he gonna be doing one of those things where he's just like unapologetic again, or I'd rather have it be more introspective and more of his perspective, like where he was coming from. Because that would make more sense for him to call it Yhandi. It'd be like, okay, what are you really feeling? Like, where are you going with this?
Definitely. I completely agree. I think everyone's looking for like an answer from him.
Yeah.
I agree. I think hopefully it will be found in this short little album.
Yeah.
Other than Kanye, Carter 5 was absolutely insane. I listened to it last night for the first time. It was absolutely unreal. I'm so proud of Lil Wayne.
Yeah.
I really didn't know if he was going to be able to pull it off like this, but he absolutely killed it. Isn't it like 21 or 24 tracks or something?
Yeah, it's 23 tracks.
Yeah, okay.
And like in mixtape Wayne, which is like 2007, 2010 Wayne, everyone, that was a moment when he was like the best rapper alive, right?
Definitely.
And then after Carter 3, there's a lot of talk about Lil Wayne falling off. Which makes sense because it wasn't that he ever fell off, it was just his content wasn't as deep as we all know that he could have gone. With all the Birdman like drama, now we know why. Now we know why. He wasn't really like, putting his heart into all the music because he wasn't getting it back. So this is like exceeds my expectations as like a Lil Wayne stan. I'm officially like, I'm gonna just go all in and just like, I'm a fucking Lil Wayne stan. But yeah, it was absolutely amazing. I have like 5 favorite tracks. I'm not even gonna list them because they're all so good, and I really feel like it's gonna be one of those albums that we listen to for a long time.
Yeah, no, the variety throughout the whole album is just off the charts. Like, there's so many different sounds and just vibes to every single song that you really can tell like he sat down and really considered what he was like presenting the world with. And I think a lot of rappers need to do that more.
Seriously, my hope is that Lil Wayne brings back bars into mainstream rap. Like, this should inspire a lot of those people. He inspired a lot of people's looks. But let's let him inspire your bars because he's always been one of the greatest. Facts.
And also, Lil Nar dropped Nar Life. That was pretty gnarly, I gotta say. I saw a feature with Zilla Kami on there. Very fire. That's what's up. And overall, I think I'm pretty proud of him for just doing his thing. He's been all over the place with like Narcotic and just other music that he's been dropping and this whole like skate thing and whatever. Like, I think he's really leveling up what it means to be a rapper and an entrepreneur. And I think that's pretty gnarly.
He's literally like a pinnacle of modern like culture right now. He's a skateboarder, rapper, and he has a clothing brand that is shitting on most clothing brands.
And like higher end people are ripping him off too. Like the multi-camo thing, like everyone's doing
Valentino, you gotta watch it.
Facts. But overall, I think it's been a pretty good week, and we're gonna finish it off with Yhandi tomorrow, and see what next week brings, I suppose. All right, this is 3Pete signing out.